Stacey Landberg, speech language pathologist.
And I'm Kelli Bavaro, also a speech language pathologist. We both specialize in early intervention, and we use parent coaching in all of our sessions, as well as a routines-based approach. So what we're doing today is watching a clip from a home visit in which both parent coaching and routines-based intervention are being implemented.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Kelli. And yeah, we'll get to the video. If you guys are seeing something in this video that we don't talk about or mention, go ahead and drop us a comment. Or also, if there's anything you want us to talk about or want to see videos of, let us know. All right.
And if you like this video, like it, because some affirmations are our love language.
All right, here we go.
We were talking last week about limited choices, offering limited choices. So 2 choices, but they're both acceptable to you. Did you get a chance to try that at all?
Can you remind me of the choices?
Yeah, so for example, you need him to go to the kitchen because it's time to eat. So you say, do you want to walk or would you like me to pick you up?
Yeah. I remember now.
Did you see what he was just doing? You put a Kleenex up and I think he was saying, achoo. He climbed inside the bag. What's going on, Kyle?
That's how he is every day.
He is so curious and he loves to try new things, doesn't he?
What are you doing in there?
I like that she just pointed out he is curious and loves to try new things, because that's so important. You know, I mean, many of these families, especially in the beginning, they're focused on what their child's not doing or what they're not doing. And we have to take those moments to acknowledge just the beauty of this human that we have here before us and let their light shine. So she said he's curious, he loves to try new things. And there in particular, she not only said it, but she let it sit there. She didn't try to fill that silence, because I think she recognizes maybe, you know, that dad might not take that beat with her as readily as she might like. So she gives it that minute of silence to catch on, like a little marination station. And I don't know, for many coaches and providers, it would be hard to sit in that moment of silence. But I like that she did. Yeah, I hope that he heard it.
Yeah, and I think Lisa's really a strong coach. She's got an amazing background. I'm so inspired by her work, but here I know she's really explicitly using that coaching strategy of observation, right? So she is watching and thinking, what's a strength I can point out? And sometimes it's hard to spot a strength, right? And I think, you know, if we're thinking about that, like, how do I spot strengths? You know, I always say we can think about 4 types of strengths. Like, what's the strength that we see with the routine itself, with the child, with the parent, or the dyad, their relationship, right? So here she's just pointing out a child's strength of Kyle's. And another thing that we watched so far that I don't know, I just like how she introduced choices. She brought it up from last week. She said, last week we talked about offering 2 choices. Did you get a chance to try that? And dad was like, can you remind me? And she's like, you know, 2 choices that both are acceptable to you. And he goes, yeah, I remember. But then there was no like, you know, I think she was trying to give him the opportunity to share how he practiced or how he participated in that. But there was no judgment, right? Like, she didn't come back and say, well, why didn't you practice it? Or let's do it right now. Instead, she's trying to I think she's trying to find a baseline. Like, well, did dad really get what we talked about last week? Did he have a chance? Was it important to him? Because that's going to probably guide the rest of the visit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is this new in their relationship together?
No, I think perhaps, I don't know the context of all the visits leading up, but I think that choices strategy was perhaps a new strategy that dad was learning to use with Kyle. Yeah. All right. Shall we watch some more?
Yeah.
No? Kyle? What's in there? Out? Kyle?
Maybe try offering him a choice. Do you want to get out or do you want more?
You want more? I want to get out. Oh, decide more right now.
Yeah, you want to play inside some more. Good
Kyle,
job answering, Daddy.
cat. Cat? Ah. Now give it back to Daddy. Throw it back to Daddy. Yay! Cat. Cat. Oh. 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 Oh.
So maybe before you hand it back to him the next time, you might try pausing for a minute to ask him, do you want this? Or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter what you ask, just to give him a chance to say something.
Kyle. Kyle. You want this? Yes? Yes. Okay. Now give it back. Kyle. Sharing. Sharing. Yeah. Thank you. Kyle. Kyle. Kyle, which one you want? Kyle. Kyle, point? Point? Which one?
You
Go.
can even try saying the words and show him, separate them enough so that he could point to one or the other.
Look. Well,
He seems busy with something else yet. Is he doing something else?
He's playing with that.
Oh, you had another friend hiding with you.
The cat. Ooh. Want a bear? One bear? Which one? This one? Oh, this one. You want this? Oh, here you go.
Really nice job, yet. That was so nice the way that you named each one and you showed him which one you were talking about. He was moving his eyes back and forth between the two objects.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Just to clarify, is Lisa a physical therapist?
Yeah, she's okay. People will be curious about this. So Lisa is very experienced as a physical therapist and as an early childhood educator, like a special education specialist. So she
Okay.
has both. And in this home visit, she's serving as like that early child development specialist. I think that's the vendorization for this visit. So yeah, she's not doing specifically like what we would think of PT, but this is where that whole idea of supporting the whole child's development, right? What's the parent's priority? And she's doing lots of collaboration with his SLP. I know a lot of SLPs can get territorial, like it's language, it's speech, it's for me, but really if we can support it all in all areas like of a child's life, to me, it's just rich. She's not doing anything that I would have told her not to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's my favorite part of our field, especially, you know, just the family-centered model being used and collaborating because everybody's using more of that holistic lens. So I was thinking in the beginning that this was physical therapy and, you know, wow, she started out the session talking about a language facilitation strategy and a coping strategy for offering choices. And then she zeroed in on that sneezing moment, which has, you know, so much potential for engagement and language there. And she was, you know, she's catching all the beats. She's not skipping any beats. And yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. Did you see the spot where she's kind of just watching back and forth and looking for, you know, she's not really saying anything and they're throwing the stuffed animal back and forth. And then dad on his own picks up the two and offers a choice. In my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, these are those moments where we're watching and we can take data. Sometimes we find it really hard. Like, how do you collect data? It's like, how many times was he able to turn take back and forth in that little throwing routine? And did you respond to dad's direction? Like, which one do you want? Like, we're able to accumulate information just by observing those interactions. Yeah, I thought it was so great too at the end where she said, she watched dad offer the two choices and then she gave him that praise. Like, it was so nice how really explicitly said, named both and offered the choice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that she's sharing with him, the things that he may not be seeing yet, because it's still early on and, his eye isn't trained to look out for some of these things that Lisa is. So she pointed out about the eye gaze, when he was looking at the choices he offered. She pointed out the sneeze thing, and I'm sure she'll go back to that. So in addition to navigating this relationship with dad and finding their way, she's also finding ways to teach him about, what his son is up to.
Right. Just exactly what you said, how she's showing dad like, hey, this is communication. This is communication. This is communication. And dad's so willing. I love how this dad is like, okay, let me do it. Let me try this. She's using that guided practice too, where she's like,
Yep.
you do this, try this. That can be a hard strategy, coaching strategy for us sometimes, but she just slips it in so gently.
Yeah. And I wanted to just cue the music when he started playing back and forth with him, because I wasn't sure in the beginning. It looked like maybe they were going to work on requesting out, and then he saw him signing more in there. And then they started that back and forth dynamic, that play, that early conversation. And I just wanted to cue the music because they were working on, so many different things. And it's such a good moment for them to have. And then she got in there with the guided practice.
Yeah, that was a really for me, it's one of my favorite clips to watch. I just love the pacing and her focus, and she doesn't do too much. I feel like so many times as like therapists, we feel like we're supposed to be doing, like, let me get in there and do more, or look, let me show you how to do it. And by like having that coach role, like the triad, she's just there to support, but she can't really support and scaffold till she knows what dad can do already, right? So that's why it's just so perfect how she checked in with him about the strategy, then he had the chance to practice it, then she followed up with while he was doing it. Awesome. All right, anything else?
Yeah, I have a question. What do you think you might do next with this parent now that she's told him about some of his strengths? Where do you think you might go next to help this dad on his journey of being coached and working with his son?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, because I was sort of thinking about that. I guess for me, I'm thinking of checking in with dad and asking him how he feels about the strategy. Maybe saying something like a reflection type of question, like, how do you think this is going? Do you think offering choices is a great way to help Kyle communicate what he wants? And if dad does think that, I'd probably try to get into like a different routine category. Like, where else could we practice this, dad? Or like, where else could we offer him choices during the week? Yeah, maybe just building in more reflection and then getting into other routines too. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I was feeling like a next step would be to get into some more reflection. And I love your idea about getting into the routine categories. Now that he's practiced the offering choices. But yeah, especially he was a little bit timid in the beginning. And again, she navigated that beautifully. So I was thinking, some more open-ended questions and finding ways to pull him in, maybe following up the strength with a reflection question. Like, how did it feel giving him choices? Was that comfortable for you? Did it feel muggy? Yeah.
Right. Is this something you're already doing in another part of your day? How's Kyle responding? Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of places that could go, because maybe it seems like an effective strategy, right? Like, I feel like Kyle really tuned in, especially when they didn't have the visual and dad said, do you want to get out or do you want more? And he signed more. I think I'm curious about exploring even that also, like asking dad things like, are you giving him verbal choices? Like, do you feel like he needs to see the choices? Yeah, just like kind of going there a little bit more with him, exploring it more.
Yeah. And he is signing. So definitely talking about the signs that dad is modeling in conjunction with the words, digging into that vocabulary a little bit too.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, Kelly, thanks. Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
Stacey. Bye.
All right.